Hey, what's up? We're gonna do a little bit of a drum tutorial tonight. I don't want to do my math homework yet, and I feel like teaching y'all about drums. We're gonna focus on layering drums, using filters to build your intros and outros and builds and stuff, and a little bit of audio, and we're gonna convert that to MIDI and use it in layering. Anyway, I have the basic kit in battery 3 loaded up. If you don't have battery, a good replacement kit for this is the Studio Toolkit in Logic. What I'm about to show you applies just in general to anything, but it's up to you to learn it in Ableton or Reason or whatever you're using. Anyway, so I'm gonna make a quick 4-bar phrase. We're gonna do drum and bass because I make drum and bass. These principles will work in dubstep, but I feel like it's a lot more applicable in drum and bass because of how layered the drums have to be in order to sound cool to me. And when I make music, I focus on what I like, which is probably why not a lot of people like my songs, our songs. Okay, come on, Logic, let's work here. Okay, got a simple 4-bar phrase, bass and snare. Let me make out a little hi-hat pattern. But yeah, we're gonna focus on drum and bass because it's awesome, and the Brits like it, and I like it, and that's what we're gonna do. You can use this in dubstep, you can use this in house, you can use this in whatever you find applicable and necessary. So let's check it out. Okay, that's cool, but I'm not digging that. Let me tap out another one real quick. We'll just do solid eighth notes. And then add a little bit of filler in during the empty spots. Yada, yada, yada. Alright. Boom. That should work just fine. Alright. And it will sound a lot like this. Pretty simple, nothing too complex, just your basic 172 BPM drum and bass little ditty. Now what we're going to do, if you wanted to have this in a rise or fill section, or just as a riser, which is what I'm going to make right now. For drums, I prefer the low pass, but you can use a high pass as well, and we'll when we get to layering, we will do that, showing you how you can combine different things to sound cool. Go to your automation, select cutoff frequency, drop it down to 10 Hertz all the way up, and that's what it'll sound like, a nice cool rise. It's alright, nothing great, so the automation curve tool is what you want to make it sound really, really cool and build right at the end so it makes your drop harder. And then right at the end, all in right there. Alright, let's get out of automation and get our pointer tool back. So this sounds really cool. Let's just loop that to 8 bars. That's the part where it would be everything going on now. But if you have built up a good sample collection, you have extended possibilities. You can also convert this to audio and then chop it up and then do it from there if you felt like it. But what we have, I have this cool little sample. It sounds like this. I like it a lot. But I want it doesn't fit this, and I like this. This is what I'm going to be making in my song. My drum sample doesn't fit it. So we can make it fit it. Let's cut this in half. Make sure it's in half. Don't need 5 and 1.1587336 pi. So what we're going to do now is select our cut tool, now that we cut this in half, and we're going to cut out, like we're in kindergarten, we're going to cut out the beats. And you can do it manually by selecting every one, or if you want to cut everything at once into eighth note, quarter notes here, hit Option and divide, and it will cut it all up nice and good for you, nice and everything even. So what we're going to do is convert to new sampler track. This is right here because I just did this in a tutorial I recorded like 10 minutes ago, but it sucked. So you're going to go down to convert and convert to new sampler track if it's not in the past 5 things you've done. So convert to new sampler track. Your regions, you wanna stretch your regions to fit. I have from D2 to D5 because I work in the key of D a lot. I like it, and it's something I can easily remember. So just click OK. It's converting to MIDI, and now we have this in MIDI, and it sounds like this. It's just exactly like it did before. It looks a lot like this. And it'll only go to where your samples end, but we only need 4. So let's take this Let's take a listen to how this sounds. That's pretty similar. And copy one more time. Let's drag it out over here, and we can now add a high pass filter right here. And high pass filter makes it sound like that. So exit out of that. We're going to do the exact same thing almost as what we did with the low pass filter, but we're going to mirror it. Basically what we have here, we're going to have here, except we're not going to start all the way at the top because that's going to pass everything and it's going to not sound very good. So start somewhere in the middle, like around, let's go with 9,000 down to 10 hertz, and break out that automation curve tool. And we want to give it a nice, if you're a skateboarder, like a roll-in type look, kind of like that. And let's get our pointer back, and now it should line up. And that's what it sounds like. Now you have your rises and your fillers, and then you have your cool layered drums that sound more full and have more variety. And you can pan these out and phase them and do whatever you want. Just make them sound layered and cool as hell. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Feel free to subscribe. I've been keeping tutorials a frequent thing in my life, which I really like, because people have been watching them and nobody's told me to go kill myself yet, and I hope they don't start now. So like them, share them with your producer friends. Hopefully you learned something today. Yeah, I will see y'all later. Thanks for watching.